Hello, my dear students. A very warm welcome to all the students of class 8th. Here I am Premlata Shukla once again with you with a new topic from Civics Parliamentary Form of Government Part 1. But before moving towards our topic, students, let me remind you about subscription. Yes, you have to subscribe our channel, press the bell icon for further notifications, like my video and share it among your friends. Now, before moving through the chapter, let me make you understand the heading of our topic. And the heading, that is a parliamentary form of government. Student, if I remove two words from your heading and two words are form of, then of course only two words left, parliamentary government. Yes, students, this is the system, means parliamentary system primarily developed in England, and we have adopted the system from England. In parliamentary system, government based on parliament with elected representatives of India who are elected by the people with the help of universal adult franchise are accountable to the people. Or we can say it is just like a fusion of powers in which executive is the part of the legislature and answerable to it, means they have direct or indirect support of parliament. Many countries exercise this system, among them like Sweden, Japan, England, Denmark, etc. Now let's start our chapter with contents. And contents are Parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, how our union legislature works, functions of the union legislature, the government in action. Now again, with the help of diagram, I have precised the chapter for you for your convenience so that you could memorize the chapter easily. As you are seeing the topic that has been written above, like Indian parliamentary system. Student, you are seeing here that parliamentary system basically it has three component: legislature, executive as well as president. President who is the head of the state, whereas executive branch comprises with prime minister, cabinet ministers and the administrative machinery, basically they are known as government. While if we talk about legislature, that is a bicameral legislature, it comprises with Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Obviously bicameral, the word it's not new for you because this word already you have read in class 7th. Bicameral and unicameral means a state which has only one house, that is known as unicameral. On the other hand, if a state has two houses, that is known as bicameral. So obviously our parliament has two houses, that's why it is known as bicameral legislature. Now let's start with our first content, parliament. Parliament, students, it is the central legislature or the union legislature, and it is the highest law making body in the country. It consists of the President of India and two houses, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, commonly it is known as House of the People because people or representatives are elected by the public. On the other hand, Rajya Sabha, that is also known as Council of States because representatives are comes from different state as well as union territories. The members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha both are known as members of parliament, means MPs. The parliament hold its sessions or meetings at Parliament House, that is Sansad Bhavan in New Delhi. Now Lok Sabha, student, Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament. It presents or during means current time, if we talk about their members, 545 members are there. Though the constitution has provided for maximum numbers like 552 seats up to 2026, but current the number of members are 545 only. Most of the members of Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people, or the President of India may nominate up to 2 members from Anglo-Indian community. Means if the Anglo-Indian community, they are not there to represent their community, in that situation 2 members are nominated by the President. Lok Sabha, basically the term of its 5 years, and it may be dissolved by the President before the end of its term, like during the emergency, or it may be extended for 1 year. Candidates means a person who want to be the member of Lok Sabha required some qualifications, like he or she should be Indian citizen, at least his or her age should be 25 years, he should be mentally sound, should not be bankrupt, and of course not hold any salaried government job. If we talk about elections of Lok Sabha, obviously elections to the Lok Sabha are held at least once every 5 years. For the elections, whole country is divided into many constituencies, and every constituency elects one representative to the Lok Sabha. A candidate who contests elections may belong to either political party or be an independent candidate. And the candidate who gets the largest number of votes becomes the elected representative of the constituency in the Lok Sabha. All the Indians means adults, all the Indian citizens who are aged 18 years or above that can vote, means they can elect their representatives in elections. Now voting is done by secret ballot. Now presiding officers, the presiding officers of Lok Sabha is known as speaker, and the speaker means what is the functions of speaker, what does he do as being officer of Lok Sabha. Obviously he conducts proceedings of the meetings, maintains law and order, though it is said he doesn't vote. Yes, students, correct, he doesn't vote, but sometimes if there is a tie in, then he exercise his or her vote as a deciding vote. And the important thing, speaker generally belongs to a ruling party, but always he acts impartially. The second presiding officer, that is deputy speaker, who presides over the house in the speaker's absence. The deputy speaker generally belongs to the opposition. Now Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament. It can have up to 250 members. Those members are not directly elected by the people. Among 250, 233 are elected and 12 are nominated by the president. And these members, those who are nominated by the presidents, are distinguished people. They may be like authors, scientists, artists, social workers, and so on. The qualifications what to be a member of Rajya Sabha required, obviously all the qualifications are same just like Lok Sabha, but little bit change in years, means age, means the person who want to become a member of Rajya Sabha should be an Indian citizen, aged at least 30 years, should not be bankrupt, mentally or mentally unsound, means he should not be mentally unsound and should not hold any salaried government job. That I told you about the elections. Members of Rajya Sabha, basically these are not directly elected by the people, as I told you, like Lok Sabha, and these members represent the states and union territories. Members representing a state are elected by the elected members of the state legislative assembly. Now Rajya Sabha, as Lok Sabha can dissolve, but here Rajya Sabha cannot dissolve after a fixed term. That's why it is a permanent body. 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years. Each member has a term of 6 years. Vice President of India presides over the Rajya Sabha, means presiding officer, and he gets this position. He gets this designation by the virtue of his office. In the chairman's absence, obviously deputy chairman presides the meetings of Rajya Sabha. Now, how our union legislature works? Students, our parliament has to have at least 2 sessions, and 2 sessions in a year. The gap between 2 sessions must not be more than 6 months. The President of India summons and closes each session. Basically, there are two fixed time periods, such as question hour and the 0 hour for the parliament to discuss different matters. First of all, question hour. The first hour of every sitting of the parliament is known as question hour basically. During this period, ministers always debates over the queries and the replies over the reveal flaws. Reveal flaws in the government policies. Reveal flaws means here the debate and the queries means the questions which are asked by the opposition satisfy the ruling party. In that way, whatever the lackings behind it reveals in front of everyone. Means what is going on within the government or what the policies they are going to make, what are the lackings behind it. Second one, 0 hour, that is most important because during 0 hour, debates always take place related to the public interest. Next, functions of the union legislature. Students, our legislature, our parliament works number of things. Number of things are done by the legislature. First of all, debating bills and making laws. So, about debating bill means how it is prepared, how a bill become a law. Obviously, first of all, let me clear what is bill. A proposal to pass a new law or to change an existing one, that is known as bill. And a bill becomes a law after going through various stages. So let me confirm how to bill become a law with the help of this diagram. Students, here you are seeing a diagram related to how a bill becomes a law. First of all, you are seeing here that written introduction of the bill. It's mean while the process of law making begins, it begins with the introduction of bill in either house of the parliament. It can be introduced either by the minister or a member other than a minister, means any private person can be introduced. Private minister can introduced. If it is introduced by a minister, obviously it is called government's bill. While other than ministers, if somebody introduce the bill, that bill called private member's bill. Next step, that is publication in Gazette. Obviously then after introducing the bill, it is published in the official. Officially here means like in newspapers, official journals, or it is a periodical publication that has been authorized to publish public or legal notices. Then our start first reading. Now during first reading, in which a bill is first read in a House of Parliament and also explains the purpose of the bill. Then it is sent to the select committee, which is basically made up of a small numbers of both the houses, and this committee inquire about written and oral evidences produced by the executive means or the government. They inquire about. After that, second reading started. In during second reading or this stage, bill is thoroughly discussed, and members, if any members suggest any possible changes, then it is also take place. After that, third reading started. During third reading, bill is drafted again after making some suitable changes which are suggested by the opposition if it is needed. After it gets its final form, it presented and put to vote. If the majority of the members present vote in favor of the bill, it is passed. Then this bill sent to the other house where it goes through the same procedure. If passed by this house, it is sent to the president for his approval, means president's assent. And after that, after the signature of president, after the sign of president, the bill becomes a law. Now our second point, that is controlling of government's finance. Students, every year the government has to place its budget before the parliament. Budget means annual financial statement. Annual financial statement means the budget shows the government's expected income and their expenditure. If these proposals fail to get the parliament's approval, then the government has to resign. Next, keeping the ministers accountable. Ministers who run the government are accountable to the parliament. If the ministers fail to satisfy the MPs with their answers, means if the question is put up in the parliament in a particular minister and that minister unable to, means he couldn't able to give or satisfy their opposition, in that case Lok Sabha may pass a vote of no confidence against the ministers, and the same period government then has to resign. Next, removing high officials. Parliament can put impeachment against the president, vice president, judges of the Supreme Court, High Court, and many high authorities. Last, that is approving amendment to the constitution. If any amendment required, obviously for that changement, constitution, let me tell you, constitution cannot be amended alone by the government. It is needed parliament's consent, parliament's approval. Approval also needs, it's also required 2/3 majority of the two houses of parliament. Approving policies towards other countries. If any treaties and agreements, trade agreements with other countries have to be approved, obviously they are approved by the parliament, not alone by the executive or the government. Now next, the government in action. The first one, translation of it felt needs into laws. Students, one of the most important function of the government is to make laws. Obviously we have read to making law. This is the most important function of our government. And not only that, to give effect of them, to give effect all the laws, that is also required, that is also important. A parliamentary government which is run by the people's representative must make laws that meet the needs of the people. Now next, people's role in demanding laws. Yes, if the government fails to make laws to meet the needs of the people have to put pressure on government to do so. Means if we feel a particular law is not going to suitable, means it's not suitable for the public, or any kind of laws are not going to make for the welfare of society, for the welfare of people, so obviously that time people can put pressure on the government, and that pressure can be put through many agencies, through many people like labor unions, political parties, NGOs. So let me tell you one of the example that I have given you, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005. Such one of the law that was needed. It was needed and it could be applied. It could be get into the effect just because with the putting pressure by the people of India. And what was this act actually? Let me define. The Protection of Women Act, it was passed in 2005. It defines domestic violence, seeks to protect women from it. Now last one, implications of laws. The making of laws by the legislature is ineffective if the executive doesn't take strict steps to give effect to the laws. Obviously, if laws are made and strict steps are not taken, then they are worthless, they are useless. So the purpose of law is to benefit the society, not to crush it. We have to keep remember. The people must have cooperated with the government to make laws more effective, because this is our duty also. Now let's revise the chapter. Name the component of our union legislature. I've told you students what are the three components of union legislature. Obviously these are president and both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Next, who can contest Lok Sabha elections? A person who is Indian citizen, not less than 25 years, not be bankrupt or mentally unsound, as well as candidate should not hold salaried government job. Question 3. What do you mean by residuary powers of parliament? So students, parliament that make laws in a union list and concurrent list. A part of that union and concurrent list, some where he also having power, means alone frame laws on the subjects, some specific subject which are not included in union list or in concurrent list. In those subjects, Parliament alone frame laws. That is known as residuary powers. Last one, distinguish between the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, in the beginning of the chapter I have explained. Lok Sabha, that is the lower house, and the people of Lok Sabha basically elected directly by the people, whereas Rajya Sabha, that is upper house, and people are not directly elected. They are the representatives of different states as well as union territories. Now Lok Sabha, that is temporary house, whereas Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. Lok Sabha can be dissolved while Rajya Sabha cannot dissolve at any cost. No confidence can be put against the government. This authority possessed by the Lok Sabha but not by the Rajya Sabha. Now this this part completed. We will continue this chapter, students. Till then, bye bye.